When I was a child, the night train to my grandparents' town was not merely a journey. It was a ritual. The moment we stepped onto the platform, the air itself seemed to thicken, heavy with the scent of coal smoke, wet earth, and the faint tang of iron from the tracks. Grandpa stood like a sentinel, a Raja presiding over a kingdom. Even the station master, usually brisk and imperious, seemed to step aside when their eyes met.
This is where it all began.
He was not merely a businessman, he was a Raja, and the hotel his court. I remember a particular afternoon watching him handle a municipal inspector. Grandpa's power was absolute.
One day, this will be yours.
The rhythms of the hotel became increasingly defined by one man, the manager. He was everywhere at once, yet almost invisible, tireless, precise. Grandpa, in turn, referred to him dismissively as my worker. He watched Grandpa not with admiration but with calculation, as though measuring the emperor against the empire itself.
You ungrateful dog. That salary was charity. I decide what you deserve.
The manager's voice, low and tense, countered.
20 years. I gave you 20 years of my life?
And then Grandpa's pride, terrifying in its finality.
You were nothing. A street corner fool. Leave, right now, from my hotel.
It was the first taste of life's true disorder. Everything began to decay after that. In Hindi, they call it Kandahar. Not merely a ruin, but the slow, agonizing unraveling of dignity, grandeur, and legacy. Within a year, a new hotel arose across the road. Chrome, glass, and efficient modernity gleamed under the sun. Grandpa, stubborn in his refusal to adapt, opened a textile factory on the town's dusty outskirts, as if to prove his might one last time. It was an angry, desperate pivot, a gesture of defiance rather than hope. On one visit, I remember the journey from the train station to his house, once a procession of awe and admiration. Now, Grandpa sat exposed, shoulders hunched, knees pressed against the side of a rickshaw. Children ran past without awe. The road remained the same, yet the kingdom had vanished from their eyes. Let's go to the new temple tomorrow, I suggested. Grandpa's voice thundered from the veranda.
You will not go there. Not now. Not ever.
Grandma, her face sorrowful, caught my gaze.
The road to that temple has thorns for him, my child.
The next day, I followed him to the factory. The gates were padlocked. He just stood there, shoulders slumped. My own life had taken shape in the hum of fluorescent lit offices, in the rhythm of salaries, meetings, and deadlines. The town, however, remembered the manager. He had built a thriving hotel. He had bought Grandpa's factory. And he had built that white stone temple, soaring, immovable, serene. I was in the office when I heard of Grandpa's passing. The train ride was unnervingly quick. The tea stall where Grandpa had first stood was gone, replaced by the cold anonymity of an ATM kiosk. I felt lost, tiny, inconsequential in its shadow. I stood by Grandpa's body. Death had softened nothing. Grandpa was not merely a victim, he was the architect of his own collapse. I found Grandma in the puja room, arranging marigolds. Grandma, I hesitated. Did he say anything about where we should?
No, he didn't. The council electric crematorium is functional, clean, but the cremation gut within that temple complex has a soul.
தீராத கூவம் யாருக்கு லாபம்?
Unending anger, who does it benefit? You have to decide.
I stood outside the gates of the White Temple.
I heard what you are deciding. I know this journey will be hard. My request to you, on his final journey, I would like to carry him. Shoulder to shoulder with you, I will acknowledge the debt. I owe him that last walk.
The rage in me had not left, but it was tempered now, absorbed by the weight of his unshakable reality.
सहनावतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति